let's go ahead. I had this. No, this video was uploaded just today. It's been a while since we took a look at a Wang video. The last one that we looked at was about one of the faces of 4chan being the Guy Fawkes anonymous mask. And here, we're going to look at something called the Cult of Shaq Fu in reference to Shaquille O'Neal, which I've never heard of this. This is my first time hearing about it, and I'm very eager to see exactly what it entails. Hopefully I'll be able to actually comment on this, even though I know literally next to nothing about whatever the hell Shaq Fu was supposed to be. But all I know is that Shaquille O'Neal, a lot of things, he's very big, and his hands are very big. Like, I have this water bottle. A water bottle would literally be half the size. Like, what was it? This meme video of Shaq trying to use items that are just somehow much smaller than him, like a water bottle that's like half the size of his hand. But before we get started, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to check out Wang's original video and all that, and then come back for this one. And let's go ahead and check out what this Cult of Shaq is.
Throughout history, there's been a lot of different video games that have gotten the title of worst game of all time. One that comes to mind...
Oh, wait. So we're talking about a video game?
...is E.T. for the Atari 26.
E.T., that's right. I know the story of E.T. Like, when it first came out for the Atari, nobody really liked it. And a lot of people brought all of their E.T. cartridges together and buried them out in the middle of the desert. I don't remember what state it was. It was either Arizona or somewhere around that part. Shake Your Booty song. Shaq Fu is that it was an SNES game. Okay, so that I figured that it would be. I didn't realize that it was going to be some sort of video game. But I do know that regarding the... No, this is something that happens to me. Like, I'll read a message in chat, and then it makes me lose my train of thought. God, I need more chatters. Is this about that game? I don't know. But, yeah, I do know the story of this. Like, a bunch of people buried it in the middle of the desert somewhere in the U.S., and then it only got rediscovered within the last 2 decades. And when people found out about it, they were like, wait, when did this happen? Yeah, you have an Atari t-shirt.
100, released in December of 1982. The game was such a disaster that some held E.T. singularly responsible for the crash of the American video game industry.
Really?
1983, taking up space in warehouses and eventually a landfill in New Mexico.
Yes, it was New Mexico, and people just found it and were like, what are all of these doing here?
In reality, though, the game was the victim of a lot of external factors.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see comments around from...
This was my absolute favorite game as a kid. I admit, I sometimes needed to ask my mom to help me because she was an absolute wizard at getting E.T. out of those fucking holes. But the rest of it was just getting all the pieces to his little phone home machine, avoiding the government baddies. And I, with my mom's help, did manage to get E.T. home. More than once. It makes me kind of sad that this game is only known for being such a total disaster, because I really have nothing but fond memories of playing it. I can imagine people liking games that others would consider bad, which is why something that I don't think I've ever mentioned on stream yet that I've been wanting to tell for a long time is that I don't usually like to make people feel bad for like liking things that I might not. This is gonna sound weird, but I'd much rather you like something that I don't like than dislike something I also dislike. I don't know what it is. I just don't like it. I low-key don't like it when people just hate on things, even though there are plenty of people that like those things. I don't know why I'm like that. Like, even if you and I dislike the exact same thing, I don't want to hear you talk shit about it. I don't know what it is or why I'm like that. That's just... It could be because I was raised never to backtalk. I don't like I'm very mild-mannered and reserved. I don't like talking back at people because whenever I do, even if I'm justified in talking back, they will be the ones that tell me that I'm in the wrong. And so, especially when it comes to like authority figures, even though I've wanted to lash out at some individuals more than once.
People who played the game as kids and actually enjoyed it a lot. Far from the actual worst game. Another commonly lampooned title was Superman 64.
Oh yes, I know about this game too.
Also a victim of outside circumstances, this might actually be the worst game of all time.
Is it?
Probably
even worse than like what was the other thing that some worse than even the Zelda CDI games?
Immediately goes to those godforsaken rings,
Yeah.
which became a bit more of a meme around the time of its release. Originally intended just for a tutorial thing to get used to the game's horrible controls.
Really? So this is just a tutorial?
The rings became a
What exactly does the game even...
core gameplay element that anything remotely interesting they'd have Superman do. The developer told Superman wouldn't do that. But then halfway through development of this game, which was originally inspired by Tomb Raider...
Was it really inspired by Tomb Raider?
They were told that the game should be like SimCity and Superman should be...
What
the mayor of Metropolis, because, you know, that's something Superman...
Wait, is that actually how the game works?
...do. The end result was a textureless, featureless, boring game with bad controls.
So wait, so this wasn't a tutorial?
Ironically, in some ways, making it resemble a 3D version of the average Atari game. And then we got...
I don't know.
So we're actually here today. Shaq Fu.
Shaq Fu.
It's 1994.
Dual Story Tournament.
Or it's an...
Yeah. Later stages of Superman 64, just mid. The control is horrible.
This game for many reasons. And in a lot of ways, it's a foundational video game in early internet culture.
Is it?
This game...
I've never heard of this game, so I wouldn't know. Is it it said it's on the SNES, you said? Was this available on, like, the Wii's Virtual Console?
Nowhere near as bad as...
Oh, yeah. I guess you were a good kid.
any of these other titles would get memed into being thought of as one of the worst games of all time. So much so, there came to be an organization dedicated to ridding the world of this game's
oh, Lord. You would have been very young.
evil, one cartridge at a time.
Okay, so they wanted this to go the way of the E.T. game.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of the Shaq Fu Liberation Front.
The Shaq Liberation Front? That's an interesting way to go about it. And then this this little image of Shaq here.
This video is
Well, if they wanted to erase this from living memory, it's no wonder I've never heard it.
sponsored by Helix. You spend a third of your life in bed, so why settle for anything less than the best? That's where
Alright.
Helix comes in. Helix
Okay, if you guys check out the original video, you guys can check out his sponsor, but let's go ahead and move on.
really can't be understated how big of a deal Shaq was in the early to mid-90s.
Yeah, he's still kind of a big deal. No, freaking his little Papa John's Shaq-a-roni, which I've never, yeah, his little Shaq-a-roni pepperoni pizza, I've never had it, mostly because, as I've mentioned on a few occasions, I don't. Whenever I ask for light sauce on my pizza, it's usually not light enough.
He was a movie star, the face of Taco Bell, the face of Pepsi.
Was he?
See, I
What, Liberation Front?
remember
Yeah.
one time in school, we got this worksheet, and it had a section about Shaq where they called him the Shaq.
Wait, why are you learning about him in school? Unless it was some sort of gym class.
I spelled it like he was in your backyard made out of wooden planks.
Oh, that spelling. S-H-A-C-K as opposed to S-H-A-Q.
So naturally, he would join the ranks of Home Improvement, Lawnmower Man, and Fido Dido in getting his own licensed video game.
Okay, so it was just another one of those types of games. Like Mike Tyson's... You've had pepperoni pizza, it's nice. Like that Mike Tyson Punch-Out game, right?
You might expect this to be a basketball game, like Barkley's Shut Up and Jam, which was
Shut up and jam!
earlier that year in 1994. And originally, Shaq Fu was supposed to be a basketball game.
Okay,
But then in early
so it got an entire redesign into... I'm guessing this is a fighting game.
development, Shaq became a fan of Mortal Kombat and decided that he wanted a fighting game of his own.
Really? So that's what happened? Oh, and I just remembered the Michael Jackson game that exists as well.
Thus, Shaq Fu as we know it was born.
Good
Although
lord, imagine
it
that.
would eventually get a reputation as one of the worst games of all time, and it was by no means a great game.
I wonder how Shaq himself felt about it, because I know that with regards to Michael Jackson, he didn't like the way that the SNES it was the Sega something. It was either Sega Genesis or it was some other Sega console. Michael Jackson didn't like the way his music sounded on the console. And so when it came time for Sonic 3, he didn't want his name within the credits.
I actually did kind of enjoy it. I'd gotten it for Christmas that year, bundled with what would be the first CD I
Because, like, He was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, yeah. Because I know that Michael Jackson and people affiliated with them were heavily involved within Sonic 3's soundtrack.
Ever owned in my life. A sampler of Shaq's upcoming album named Shaq Fu The Return.
When the hell did he have an album?
Funny enough, the kanji on the cover of the Shaq Fu album, while pronounced Fu,
Wait,
was not the right symbol for the martial art he was referencing.
Oh.
Which honestly might have been kind of fitting, looking at the strange mishmash of cultural inaccuracies.
oh my god, no, I want to
See
see.
in the game Shaq Fu.
Yeah, there's also Sonic 3. Yeah, I know that.
The game itself had some issues with the controls. Movement was way too slow. The jumps were super floaty and weird, making it a choice.
It sounds like when the Osaka team makes a Kingdom Hearts game, people complained about the floaty combat.
Safely get close enough to your opponent to do damage. But it wasn't unplayable, and I've definitely played worse. When you're a kid before emulation or Steam sales, you're basically going to play the fuck out of whatever games you have. I mean,
Yeah, pretty
I put
much.
hours into the Hunt for Red October on NES.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Shaq Fu was no problem.
I wonder, I remember putting a lot of time into games like Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker. Oh no, I had a legitimate Wind Waker addiction.
For what it's worth, the game actually did have some really nice animation for the time.
Yeah, that does look nice.
Nevertheless, the legacy of Shaq Fu hate would carry on from the pages of EGM and make its
Yeah, you can use Knuckles. Yeah, I like that as well. But I always like to play as Tails.
way onto the early internet, where it was widely considered one of, if not the worst game of all time. Yet there were a lot of people who had experiences with it that were similar to mine. And when you see that the universal opinion is going one way that you don't necessarily agree with, some people get a compulsion to go all the way to the other extreme.
Sounds like modern politics.
Even if it's a bit of an exaggeration. This takes us to GameFAQs, which become the home of a group called the Shaq Fu Alliance.
Okay, here we go. A bunch of pre-adolescents from GameFAQs that joined together to pretend like this shitty game that none of them has ever played. These guys don't look pre-adolescent at all.
So
they look post-adolescent.
GameFAQs at one point was the heart of internet gaming culture.
I bet it was.
To this day, it's notable in that it has content for basically every single video game that has ever existed.
And a lot of them, no, this site is old as hell, and there's guides going back decades.
Including full guides, sometimes even for games that were never officially released.
Really?
The feature is that each of these games has its own forum.
Yep.
And if a game's forum was particularly dead, such as basically every game released before the invention of the site,
Heh.
a group with enough motivation could take over the forum for themselves. A mini online colony of sorts. And in 2002, that was precisely what happened to Shaq Fu. As the users found their way to the GameFAQs Shaq Fu forum, many would become members of the Shaq Fu Alliance. And the Alliance would soon become a nuisance throughout the wider GameFAQs forum.
Oh no, so they became a troll-type community?
Trolling other games
Okay, so I figured.
while spreading the gospel of Shaq Fu.
Yes.
To many, though, it was
Hello there. Might I interest you in talking about Shaq Fu?
unclear whether or not these people actually liked Shaq Fu or if they were just being ironic.
I don't
Although
know.
pretty much all of the posts pertaining to the early days of the group have been lost to time. A retrospective by Stephen Wright for the website Uppercut shines some light on the matter.
Okay, and Shaq Fu and the strange afterlives of bad games. We're gonna look into the rich lives of the rich and wasteful.
In the article, he speaks to a former member named Cold Spy. Cold Spy had bought a collection of old Genesis games from eBay, which wound up including several copies of Shaq Fu. So he goes online trying to figure out how to play this incredibly obtuse fighting game. Of course, he quickly finds himself on GameFAQs, as you likely would at that time. This also meant that he would come across the Shaq Fu Alliance, and he quickly joined their ranks.
No, the fact that they call themselves the Shaq Fu Alliance.
He describes some of the early goings-on of the group to Steven. While there were some social boards like Lou, there weren't groups like the SFA. We were committed. The board was active. We put SFA in our signatures. We invaded boards before they banned us. We got modded a lot.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So this is like how, like, this reminds me of like the early days of bronies where they would go onto 4chan and just post random MLP memes and stuff to the point to where that all the people got sick and tired of it, so they just decided to give it its own section.
The organization delighted in coining its own bizarre mythology and slang, vaulting Shaquille
Mythology, huh?
O'Neal himself
So it really is almost like a cult.
to the status of a deity, and cursing
Oh, Lord have mercy.
late Kobe Bryant as their ultimate nemesis.
Oh no, Kobe, oh no. It's like, no. Here's the thing. If you're going to join Tyler Perry and his supremacy over Black Hollywood, you need to renounce Ice Cube and all of his works, including Friday. If you don't do that, then you can't be part of Tyler Perry's Medea movies.
To be clear, Bryant does not appear in Shaq Fu. The game's release predates his NBA career. Anyone who questioned the undying excellence of the game were called Keys and Fistonites.
No.
Unfortunate thralls of the evil Bryant. While there was certainly
I mean, didn't Kobe Bryant, do unseemly. I was told that he did unseemly things with his daughter or something like that.
A strain of irony to the whole performance, Cold Spy recalls that the SFA's most devoted members actually did play the game quite a lot, and resented the harsh treatment that critics and casual players had hoisted upon it. For many, it was ironic, but most of us played the game, he said. Also, Shaq was the biggest sports star in the world back then.
He still is a very big sports star.
I'm sure plenty of members were fans of his. We weren't trying to make fun of the game through intemperate praise. The group in the game went hand in hand. Even if the game wasn't a 10 out of 10.
Okay, so it's like an appreciate. So it's kind of one of those guilty pleasure kinds of things, or something like that. Plot twist for the flip. The last cartridge was found at an Evo championship, and the FGC community went from memeing to liking the game ironically as a hidden gem, huh?
It spawned the SFA, which we all enjoyed. It was like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, that. I just made that reference. It was me going on that spiel about Tyler Perry and Ice Cube is a reference to the Boondocks episode that parodied Tyler Perry with Winston Jerome, where in that episode there was a parody of the Rocky Horror Picture Show that's like, what was it? Yeah, where it's like, welcome to our lovely little compound, where it all goes down. And then Granddad was very disturbed by what he had seen, because the opening lines of this song that they were singing were hot oil, bananas and cream, white unicorns and wet dreams.
The movie isn't great, and fans of it don't just watch it on a Tuesday night, but it spawned a whole culture. And you can't separate the movie from the midnight showings and dressing up. Of course, while the Shaq Fu Alliance was great fun for its members, it obviously drew a lot of ire from outsiders.
I bet it did.
Although much of the early hate of the group is also long gone, I did manage to find this beautifully Web 1.0 tripod.
This definitely looks pretty old. How do I... Is that French? Habiter pour le moment, aucun regret. That's French for... Okay, it is French. Live for the moment. Do what you do, no regrets. I have a friend from France, and he once told me those words when I was at my darkest hour.
Site that made mention of it, Darian's World, belonging to a then 18-year-old GameFAQs poster named Darian Wild, a self-described internet troll who is also very nice and polite. It includes sections like, which is better, Wendy's or McDonald's?
I don't know.
He argues the superiority of Wendy's against his sister, Jen, who
Okay.
prefers McDonald's. There's also a list of the hottest celebrities.
Okay, Jennifer Love Hewitt, who is Mort Goldman's niece.
Topped out by Sarah Thompson, Jamie Lynn Sigler, and Jennifer Love Hewitt. Based on these pics, you could tell what time this was made, even if you didn't already know. There's also an autobiographical section called The Legend of Omega Lionheart. A bit of a tangent, but it also
What the hell
gives
is
us a
that?
little insight into the kind of world that the Shaq Fu Alliance was entrenched in. The legend
So they were in like...
of Omega Lionheart spans throughout the internet. Yes, I know that sounds incredibly overdramatic,
Yeah, I don't know who this is or why they're Omega.
but I'm an egomaniac. It all started on
I'm sure you
GameFAQs,
are.
and since then has become so much more. I first started using the internet when I was about 15 or so. Actually, when I was 14, I think. I am a reactions person, as I've said many times before. So of course it fascinated me that people could be angered so easily over the internet.
He's not wrong.
After my first few bannings, I was hooked. And as time progressed, I got better and better at what I did. Eventually almost never getting modded with the help of some other users who taught me how to troll without trolling.
Troll without trolling, huh? So...
Never
I
break
don't
the
even...
TOS while still inciting flames.
Okay.
And of course, the reason we're on this site, he's also got a list of his enemies. Accompanied
And
by
who the hell... Cold Prophecy.
pictures of what the author imagines they look like.
Oh, so...
His enemies include rival trolls, various GameFAQs mods, and of course, the Shaq Fu Alliance.
Okay.
The specific members named being Evil Zach, Pluto Nash, Who Cares, and DJ Skittles. The SFA, Shaq Fu Alliance, for the majority of the world who doesn't know, is a bunch of pre-adolescents from Game.
Okay, so this is just some... Okay, I thought this was an actual picture of what they look like. But I guess it's just in a... Okay. Well, now that we have the context for what this
tend
is...
to like this shitty game that none of them has ever played. I troll them for no other reason than because I think they're pathetic, and because I want them to get up and do something with their lives.
Says the guy who was here on the computer, basically doing trolling.
Rather than staring at the computer all day.
The irony in this statement.
You can go to their board here and see for yourselves how truly sad it is. At the same time, it's fun trolling them, so whatever.
No, that's the irony. These trolls, they're usually the ones that sit on their asses on the internet all day and talking shit about others. So you should speak for yourself.
Though this is just one guy's opinion, it's not hard to imagine that most of the people who weren't a part of the group viewed them this way. Of course, while Shaq Fu had pockets of defenders, the overwhelming online sentiment was that this was a horrible game. So horrible that to some, it was evil and needed to be purged entirely.
It was evil and it must be purged
from existence. So in 2005, a Shaq Fu hater named Saad Sadi registered the domain shackfu.com.
Oh,
He
Lord.
used it to create the online outpost of the Shaq Liberation Front, an organization whose goal was to obtain every single copy of Shaq Fu
Oh, Lord.
and destroy it. The
Well, if I had a copy and they wanted it, then they're gonna have to pay me.
organization had a mission
I'm not wearing any pants and neither are we.
statement. Picture this, 1994. The United States was slowly moving toward the economic boom of the late 90s. It was the beginning of a golden age that would be remembered for years. At the same time, a young, powerful basketball player was in his second year in the NBA. He was becoming an instant star and served as the savior of the ailing Orlando Magic. Shaquille O'Neal. At the time, people wanted
I
to
was gonna say they were just patrolling the. Oh, okay, Rhodey, whatever you say.
see more Shaq. They loved Shaq so much that they would do anything Shaq told them to. Shaq went on to begin his merchandising in an effort to please the needs of the people. He decided to rap, releasing the album called Shaq Fu.
Yeah.
At the time, people really enjoyed it. Shaq
No, I've never heard any of
was
this.
a big star, and just him on the stage made them giddy. He also created a video game called Shaq Fu. People enjoyed it. GamePro magazine gave the game a 4.5 overall. Riding on this high, Shaq went on to create the movies Kazam and Steel. Everything was going well for Shaq. People loved him, and Shaq loved the people. Now skip to this year. The economic boom is over, and the United States is bitter and cynical.
It's still very bitter and cynical.
Shaquille O'Neal is no longer worshipped by the people. In fact, very few people still pay attention to the NBA.
Nowadays, it's kind of like John Cena and The Rock.
Looking back, the citizens of the USA realize how awful some of Shaq's accomplishments really were. Sure, Shaq rapped, but was it really that good?
I don't
No.
know.
People say no. The movies Kazam and Steel have lost their luster. They are now considered some of the worst, hokiest movies ever to defile the screen.
And then there's the Shaq Fu video
Then,
game.
there's Shaq Fu the video game. Shaq probably has forgotten he ever created this game.
He probably has. It
Shaq
wouldn't
Fu
surprise
has
me.
to be the worst fighting game in the history of fighting games. In 1984, America could buy it. America thought it was all right, and America could tolerate it.
Okay, yeah. It's like, it's one of those things that, I guess it's one of those hype kind of games more than anything else.
Well, America, tolerate it no more. It is time for us to make up for the mistakes of the past. It is time for us to fight back against the mindless merchandising.
I mean, people are still having trouble. People have been fighting back against mindless merchandising even to this day. I mean, have you seen the price of the Switch 2? I mean, come on.
So how do we do this? ShaqFu.com's mission is to liberate all the copies of Shaq Fu from existence by buying them from anyone who owns the game, including local console retailers, eBay merchants, normal citizens, and the like. Here are the
Okay, let's see why it's important.
reasons why this is important.
Why is this important?
You prevent
This just seems such a waste of time.
generations from feeling the corruption of this game and its evil. You clear up
I was going to say, I don't understand how I mean, he's making it seem like that it was made by BET, which, by the way, stands for Black Evil Television. Look, it's not enough that this game is bad. It needs to be evil as well, so that it can corrupt the minds of young African Americans, and then BET's destruction of black people will be complete.
the enormous copies of Shaq Fu lying on the shelves in used console game stores. By doing so, you remove it from public display so that people will not be reminded of the game's existence. Purchasing many copies of the game shifts the demand schedule, consequently raising its price. Even though it costs you more money, it reduces the incentive for a non-liberator to buy the game. A worthwhile sacrifice. By getting
Well, I guess that's a sacrifice you are willing to make.
it from another person, you remove the burden and embarrassment they feel.
Oh, Lord.
The reasons go on and on. Shaq Fu must be eliminated for everyone to feel at peace.
For everyone to feel at peace, including some guy in the middle of the North Sentinel Island who probably doesn't even know what a video game is, and they're making me believe that they're making the world a better place by collecting all of this.
This website discusses the methods of
And these types of people have the audacity to call the people that like this game basically nerds that don't touch grass.
how to obtain copies and how to dispose and or make use of the copies obtained. It also serves as the front line for the Shaq Fu Liberation Front. Here, you'll be able to obtain current numbers of Shaq Fu copies liberated, as well as membership for the Shaq Fu Liberation Front. With your help, we may be able to obtain a Shaq Fu free world for our children to grow up in. Join today and help our cause.
Good Lord.
Of course, they also accepted donations in order to help them buy up all these copies of Shaq Fu. And a lot of readers would in fact obtain copies
And look at all this old
that they would
footage.
destroy themselves. But the Shaq Fu Liberation Front would also receive their fair share of hate mail. You get people saying that their mission will fail because they will never surrender their copy of Shaq Fu.
Well, yeah.
Others say, the game's not so bad, why are you being so harsh? And then a reader named Brian XL felt the need to debunk their mission statement point by point.
Okay.
What are we to understand about such statements? It seems that this entire paragraph is based solely on opinion and backed by absolutely no evidence of any kind. What surveys do we have to show the general population as bitter and cynical? Where are the ratings that indicate no one pays attention to the NBA? When have the citizens
Oh, this guy is actually making a pretty good point.
of the USA looked back and had the revelation that Shaq's accomplishments weren't really that great?
Although, this person is missing spacing here and here.
Where do the people say no? Shaq's rapping was not really that good. Because Am and Steel have lost their luster? Or is it you has become dependent on the greater provisions of modern media? All this leads one to wonder how it is that you are so privy to the mind of America. How is it that you can speak so boldly, making such rash and severe claims about an entire nation? This reader also compares the group to the Nazis.
Okay, now that, I don't even know.
And he says that personally he would be honored to own such a disgusting piece of history. I would ask you to reconsider your destruction of Shaq Fu. Let us not fall into the same liberating tactics of the Holy Wars. And burn
The Holy Wars, so that's how far we're taking this? Okay, so, but this is basically the not touching grass Olympics.
everything for what we perceive as worthless. The email, like the website itself, is clearly very tongue-in-cheek, a case of trolls trolling trolls. Nevertheless, the Shaq Fu Liberations Front influence grew. And then in 2009, another group was formed to stand in opposition to them. Save Shaq Fu, created by AJ and Drac. On their site, you're greeted by a table full of rescued copies of Shaq.
Okay, and let me guess, they're gonna, the people that are trying to destroy these copies are gonna come over to wherever this display is being housed and do something.
Fu that resemble one of those police drug bust photos.
Oh.
Although never directly calling out the Shaq Fu Liberation Front, they make cheeky reference to it as other websites, the wrong individuals, or some groups who are hellbent on the destruction of Shaq Fu. This organization contended that owning more copies of Shaq Fu will actually make you happier. Why are they so passionate about Shaq Fu?
I don't know. Maybe if it's in mint condition, it might sell for a lot simply as a collector's item.
Each of the rescued Shaq Fus is documented on a page called
Lord have mercy. Imagine going out of your way to do something like this, as if it's that, making it seem like it's of cosmic importance.
the Shaqalog.
Shaq-a-log.
Each copy with its own individual story, and the person...
What? the first of many. Okay, let me read these. Yes, Game City 360, Newport, Kentucky. Donated by Nelson Willis. The first of many. This one started it all. A gift on a fine autumn's night. This one came with the help of a fist. Came bursting through the backseat of AJ's car through the trunk. It now traverses the malls, checking out local fountains for peaceful meditation.
Each copy with its own individual
And then the second of 7 of the originals. Later in the night, this one was pulled from the trunk and thrust into the hands of Drac. A shock to all around. It is now obsessed with palm trees and tries to live amongst them where it feels like rightfully belongs. What the hell is even going on?
story and the personality traits of each copy. One copy of Shaq
There's being a nerd, and then there's being whatever the hell this is.
Fu has an affinity for palm trees. Another Shaq Fu likes boating.
And then this one likes, porcelain dolls or something like that.
Another Shaq Fu was tortured by being forced to watch the bridges of Madison County while
The hell?
in captivity. The page would eventually include user submissions from around the world, including PAL copies and a Game Boy version which I didn't even know existed.
There's a kid.
Of course, by the very nature of Save Shaq Fu existing, the Shaq Fu Liberation Front could never complete its mission, and thus it would lie dormant for years. That was until 2014.
2014,
It
damn.
was then that a sequel to Shaq Fu was announced.
Wait, there's no way that actually happened.
Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn.
Oh my god, there's no way. And this is a fun, it's some sort of GoFundMe?
Indiegogo campaign
Oh, Indiegogo, there's no way. Did Shaq even sign off on this?
was launched. In the campaign trailer, Shaq basically says that Shaq Fu sucked and he wants a chance to make something good.
To all of us,
What? Oh, so he's oh my god, no, that's crazy.
it's not gonna be like that last track.
Oh my god, no way he was involved. Oh man, that's insane.
Forget that out your head.
Oh no, wait a minute. Is he gonna piss off the people that have been collecting all of those copies and stuff? You would have been 19.
Open your head up, take it out, and throw it away. This new one,
I was like 14 or something.
This one would be a beat-em-up with destructible environments and all kinds of bells and whistles.
Okay.
The Shaq Fu Liberation Front was not pleased.
I bet they were. The Big D's team? I don't even know. No. The fact that their idol, Shaq himself, said that the game was bad must have felt like a freaking betrayal, like blasphemy.
And they viewed the announcement of this game as, quote, an act of aggression.
I'm sure it did. Once again, it's just more nerds being nerds, and it just gets more and more insane.
Because of this, they were coaxed from their slumber to release a declaration of opposition.
Okay, so the liberators become the opposers.
In the declaration, there's a list of demands.
Really? There's no way that they have fucking demands, as if Shaq is going to listen to what some glorified Reddit mods essentially saying all of that.
1. Immediately cease and desist from developing Shaq Fu, allegedly.
Cease and desist, yeah. And Big D, there's, oh wait. I thought you were saying, Rhodey, that you said D's Nuts team, as in like a team of players called D's Nuts, but apparently it's just a game company.
Reborn. 2. Publicly issue a formal apology. This formal apology must come from Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen. I'm pretty sure he doesn't even know who these people are.
And Big D's Productions. Both must apologize to the funders who naively donated to Indiegogo without fully understanding the ramifications of releasing this game. They must also release a mea culpa for all prior development.
What the hell does mea culpa mean? Let me look that up real quick. Acknowledgement of one's fault or error. Okay.
Of Shaquille O'Neal related intellectual property and negative impact it has had on the global conscious.
The global conscious. Like some guy in the bumfuck middle of India is gonna care about some fighting game from the 90s.
3. They must stop using.
But they probably don't. I bet you someone like that probably doesn't even know who Shaq is. They're probably too busy dealing with, I don't know, whatever Shudra things might be going on.
Motto: this time we won't foo it up. And acknowledge that the reason that Shaq Fu was so terrible was not the Fu, it was the Shaq.
The hell?
4. Destroy all materials used in the development of the game Shaq Fu: Legend Reborn, including but not limited to.
They want. So, are you kidding me? They want all of the. So they want all of the stuff that was involved in the making of the game. That probably costs like thousands, if not millions of dollars to be able to produce and all that. They want all of that to be fucking destroyed just because they felt like that they were being betrayed by their god.
Laptops, computers, game consoles, cell phones, tablets, servers, hard drives, portable storage devices, optical media, and any non-electronic media.
That's such a fucking waste, though.
The destruction process will be monitored to its completion by an independent third party of our choosing.
And what exactly is this going to be?
5. Retroactively pressure Electronic Arts to destroy all materials described in term 4 used in development of the original game Shaq Fu.
No.
6.
Be like EA is ever going to listen to that.
Contributions and inventions used to develop the game must be immediately abandoned. The term contributions and inventions are understood to include all inventions, ideas, works, modifications, processes, discoveries, techniques, designs, methods, trade secrets, technical specifications and data, know-how, show-how, concepts, expressions, creations, improvements, works of authorship, ideas, and other developments, whether or not they are patentable or copyrightable or subject to analogous protection and regardless of their form or state of development.
I don't understand what the hell this is asking for. Contributions and inventions. Tainted by the Shaq Electronics, pretty much. No, I have no idea what this 6th one is referring to. Is it like taking inspiration from pre-existing fighting games and modifying that in order to make it unique? No, this is reminding me of freaking Nintendo's patent lawsuit. Or trying to patent sub-characters or summons like that. Trying to patent that so that only Nintendo could use it. That's what number 6 is reminding me of. Of course, it's not going to work because there are lots of RPGs where summoning is a core mechanic. Like, I know that's how it is in, like, Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, but... No, that's what it's reminding me of.
And whether or not Big D's Productions has made them alone or with others. Graciously, however, they did say that their terms were negotiable. But not only did Shaq Fu: The Legend Reborn meet its funding goal, it actually exceeded its goal.
Oh, damn. Barack Obama was a character? Why is Obama a character in this? This is Barack Obama. I traced a signal to the Black Knight satellite. That's where I was headed. I had an hour before Earth was destroyed by the...
For the development of...
What the hell is... What the what the hell is this? What is... Oh my god, no. This... Okay. They actually... they actually might have a point. The Shaq Fu Liberation Front might actually have a point when you have a fucking satellite that looks like a... you have a satellite that looks like a discount JJ the Jet Plane character. That's what this looks like. This looks like a JJ the Jet Plane character, and Obama... What the fuck is this? They might actually have a point. There's no way. This went from 60 to 1,000 in no time at all.
Goals, including a DLC entitled Barack Fu: The Adventures of Dirty Battle.
It's a DLC? What the hell? So there's a Barack Obama DLC. And he's doing what? Something in space? What is going on?
Which features a similar but legally distinct version of Barack Obama.
Oh no.
Sorry, baby.
Oh no, what is this?
Barack Daddy's work is never done.
No, stop. There's no way.
The game would be released in 2018. And honestly, despite the fact that I actually had this game, I got it for free from Amazon.
Did you? Damn.
I still haven't played it, so I can't say if it's any good or not.
Oh.
Although the website of the Shaq Fu Liberation Front remains active to this day, they have not yet responded to Shaquille O'Neal's further acts of aggression. So for now, that's the story of the Shaq Fu Liberation Front. If you like this video...
Okay, so that whole list of demands never really went anywhere. Okay, yeah. A bunch of people that have nothing better to do in their free time decided that they want to try to pressure a high-profile celebrity that probably doesn't even know of their existence in order to do away with some game that ended up coming out anyway. Okay, no, that ending was worth it, in all honesty. No, that ending was absurd and was insane. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and this video was streamed live on both YouTube and Kick. Be sure to check out the VODs for unedited footage as well. Take care.